The following program contains explicit language that may be offensive to some viewers.
And when they get in there, there's a raw reality. There's an emptiness. There has to be a sinking feeling when you see that jail cell and you see another human being look you in the eye and say, hey, man, I'm really here. And this could be you, but for the grace of God.
I would think they're doing a real good job, and they're missionaries in a sense.
Well, I ain't shit!
Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, nigga. Line for line, how we get down with the rhyme. Yo, it be your line for line. This is how we get down. Yeah, line for line. This is how we get down. Yo, can you feel me? Storytelling, rap, Magellan. I ain't telling. Them niggas ran in the spot for selling. Word up, pushed up, man got mushed up. Seen him at a rap show acting like fat cat though. Glasses gold, shining like a real big boy. This nigga had mega ice on. Chips ahoy, cats around it. This political brown kid, all out the window. My man walked in, pulling mints out. Son had man clientele. Order me Cristal twice, Keon. Chill, watch them niggas. Hey yo, that clicks from my estate. They bubble weight and Far Rockaway with Blake Carrington. You know the kid with the most dope getters and terrors on fashion. Click, they rock low sweaters. That's my man too. Call him up on the strength of the woo and watch me game do grab the cell. I got a heist to pull off well. At the end of the week, I'm buying you a L Lexus, nigga. I ain't talking about Hancock. No time for weed, plus no time to get locked. That night, up in the staircase, cousin had me laced out, skied all out of my face. We gon' get that crunchy chunk for all of his lungs. Don't try to front, you was sweating his Hilford English. Guess who walked in, having it? His man from Farragut. Confront him with the Ruger on his back, walking black. Where's your man? Where's Sky Blue land at? Stop playing woo in the back, smacked him with the gat. Yo! Money said he be in 15. He's not lying, wait for the millennia grain to pull up. He got the Donna Karen shit on 2 rings, 6 carats a piece plus the chain swing. Like anchors on ships flooded with all diamond chips. Back pockets, 2 clips, 4/5 with rubber grips. Laying 2 bottles of brass, I was slaying, meditating. Red dot, be waiting for my payment. Heard the key in the lock, cock the Glock, turn the lights out, dip behind the couch. Keon, gag his mouth, infrared at his head when he entered. Butter soft, Perry Ellis leather with Dorinda. A friend of Keon's wife, Kenya, the bitch larger than life. Yo, shorty be fucking mad Colombian, nigga. Fucking get on the floor, meet the black Lex Luthor. Strip fast, the bitch out on Claiborne drawers. Yo, Ray, you about to scrape her, chill, ghost. Thought for a second, turned around, threw the 9 on his meatloaf. Yo, where's the cash in the stash that's mixed? I don't know. Shot his hand, he started screaming like a bitch.
Juveniles who attend the sessions shown here do so voluntarily at the suggestion of the police, probation officers, or social workers. Most of these children are delinquent or delinquent prone, but some have not been in trouble. Almost all the prisoners shown here are serving life sentences.
Well, I used to be, you might say, a dove in my earlier days as a judge. That's 25 years ago. Problems were different then. Violence was not as rampant. But since I've been Chief Justice for 3 years now, there's hardly a week goes by that I don't receive a half dozen letters, very tragic in nature, from older people.
Now, if you think anybody's for playing, you can get it out your head, because we ain't up here to play with you. If you got any tough guys up here, I want them to stand now. Now, like I said, we ain't up here to humor you. We're up here to tell you what these joints is about and how y'all messing up y'all lives and where y'all headed at. So what I want y'all to do, while any of these men's up here talking to you, I don't want you to be looking around the room or down, up. I want you to be looking at the man. And if I catch you looking any place beside that, looking at that man, I'm gonna hang my feet in your ass. And if you don't believe me, just try me. I'm not in the mood for it today. I'm sick, and I'm not up here to playing games. So when, like I said, when this guy is talking, any one of these guys up here talking, I want you to pay close attention. Do I make myself understood? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. What, y'all got no motherfucking voices? I say I can't hear you. So we ain't up here, I told you, we ain't up here to play no games, excuse me. We ain't up here to be playing no games with y'all. You understand? See, y'all, when I see, y'all, you know, y'all sickening. You know that?
My experience as a juvenile judge of some 2 years, as well as my review of thousands of juvenile files, clearly reaffirms in my mind that one of the major, and I emphasize major since there is really no exclusive cause, for juvenile delinquency is the peer influence. The Lifers Project, which is basically a juvenile outreach program, perhaps offers the best known, available, offsetting influence to this major cause.
When we came out of Jamesburg, Nannadale, and hung back out on the same corners that we had left before we went to the institutions, everybody looked up to us. We was the down cats. Once we was out, we could box the best, we could bribe the best. We did everything the best as in regards to breaking law, being involved in crime. But now, with the Juvenile Intervention Program, we feel that we are changing that peer image.
I started out when I was 8 years old.
My name is Frank Beinhammer. I've been incarcerated for the past 14 years for the crime of murder, for killing a cop. Most of us see these young people as a reflection of ourselves. They're robbing themselves of an opportunity to live before the hell they've even begun to know what life is all about.
No one helps you to rehabilitate yourself while you're at those institutions. They only teach you negative things. They teach you to hate, man. To hate any damn thing that represents authority. And I'm not referring to police, prosecutors, and judges. I'm talking about your school teachers, counselors, your parents, because your parents represent authority. But worst of all, they teach you to hate yourselves, to think of yourselves as being nothing, less than nothing, to be human waste, shit. And when you come out of those places, you treat yourself like you're shit. You think that while you're in a juvenile institution or prison or something that you've paid your debt to society. That's a goddamn lie. You never stop paying. Because once you're released from a juvenile institution, the so-called straight kids in the neighborhood aren't permitted to associate with you. You're going to be thrown back into the human cesspool, ground up a bit more, spit back out into society. It's going to become a revolving door until you get on your goddamn 2 feet, accept responsibility for yourself as a person, and make the changes in your life that are necessary. No one's going to help you. Rehabilitation is a farce. You have to do it. You have to be big enough to get up off your ass, turn that shit around, and do what you know is right for you.
All right, let's talk about my own experience when I grew up in the streets of Philadelphia, right? I went to reform school the first time when I was 10 years old. I come out of reform school, they assigned a social worker to me who had come from middle-class America, graduated college, never had to work a day in his life. His mother and father gave him everything. Didn't have any idea or conception about what prison was or what I was living. That's why it's failing out there today. The people who are the social workers, the parole officers, the probation people, are from middle-class America. There's very, very few of them who come from the ghettos or the slums. So how can they possibly relate to a child who's going through these traumas in his life, whether he has a broken home? They didn't come from a broken home. They came home from a home where they had supper every night. They didn't have to sit down and eat sugar and bread and go to sleep with an empty belly. So how can they relate to these kids? We live this.
I'm going to tell you something else about jail. Rape. You all can get raped. I'm going to tell you how they do it. You're laying on your blanket. Your mind's thinking about the bricks. You know, the streets outside, about your women about your men. Same thing. 2, 3 guys walk in a cell. They take that blanket. They wrap it around you. Now you're like a mummy. You can't move, man. You can't move. Then they kick you over the bed. Then they fuck in your ass. Yeah. Can't happen to me, but it does. All right, now you got raped. It happened. Okay, it happened. Man, I'm going to get me one of them shanks that man's talking about. Them knives, them homemade knives. And I'm going to get even with them. Yeah, I'm going to get even with them. So you do catch me walking, and you got that shank, and you stick me with that shank, my man. You stick me, and you kill me. What happens to you? Now you're doing the 2 to 4, we'll say. What happens to you when you kill me? You end up with a life bit. You murdered someone, didn't you? Even in here, they consider that. Now, I raped you, and you murdered me. You were just protecting yourself, man, and you end up with the life bit. So you're a loser, right from Jump Street. The guy just took it Saturday night. Right in this jail, just took it Saturday night. This ain't the first one, but it goes on. He tied a bed sheet to a pipe, and he tied the other around his neck, man, and he hung up. Hung up. He's dead. You don't owe the state nothing. You don't have to worry about getting raped no more. You don't have to worry about getting ripped off. You don't have to worry about nothing no more. He's even. He's even. It's in the papers. Man will show you. It's right in the paper. Inmate hangs self. A Rahway State prisoner. Forget who he was. Really don't matter. To me, it don't matter. I don't give a fuck. In fact, they want to hang up, that's their business. They got more nerve than I got. They got more nerve than I got. Or some guys do it a hard way. They get up on a 4T and they dive off head first and hope it kills them. And hope it kills them. That's how bad these joints are. And yous are kicking the doors. You're kicking them. Please let me come to jail. Are yous nuts or what? Are yous fucking insane?
Some of you like to get high off of reefers and dope and wine and whiskey. I'm a freak for getting high off of news articles. They're talking about getting tough on juveniles. Sure enough tough. They say if you want to be a juvenile and act like an adult, that's how they're going to treat you. They're not building no fucking Jamesburgs, no Bordentowns, no Annandales no more. They're talking about building juvenile prisons, just like Rahway, where you can't even breathe. Identification of serious crime. That means if you commit a crime, any kind, they're going to put you on TV, 15 on up. 15 years old. Do you want your mother friends to look at your mother and say, oh, Dorothy, I didn't know that was your daughter. I didn't know she steal cars. I didn't know she broke into... How your mother going to feel? How would my mother feel?
A lot of the parents say, you know, well, my kid couldn't do that, even though he might have been busted for 10 beanies or something like that. It ain't his kid. Never is. I used to be the same way with my son. Can't get in trouble. My son's been through this program. Yes, he's been through it and it helped him. I just didn't go on that particular session because I wouldn't have had it in me, you know, to get down on them like the guys do.
You know something? I don't like you because you're white and you're supposed to know it all and have it all. But I don't like them because they're black and they're putting me down.
My name is James Irby. I'm here for murder. I've been here 4.5 years. I have about 9 more years to serve, maybe, if I'm lucky.
When I leave this session and go to my room, I'm wrapped up. I'm so tight, man. I feel bad, real bad. But I'm trying to make them aware of what's really happening to them. They can't see it, or they don't want to see it, but I'm going to show them. You're following in my footsteps, man. You're saying, wow, I want to be like that guy. I admire him. Well, I ain't shit. If I was something, I'd be out there where you are. Same thing you're doing now that did it 5, maybe 6, 7 times. Your baby's under me. I done had the finer things of life. Cadillac, pistol, suit, pocket full of money, bitches on both sides. But what do I have to show for it now? A pair of state brogues turn over and I can't get no more? Don't know when, or where, or how, or who's gonna send me something? If I could change places with you right now, give you my time and I take your freedom, do you think I'd do it? That's right, you know it. You know it.
I've been watching you people. My partners here have been talking to you, and I think a lot of you's got a bad attitude. I think a lot of yous want to be convicts. You's got that look. Got young people walking in this door every day, 20, 21 years old. Little bullshit drug raps. Drug convictions. They come in here tipping light, man. They're scared to death. Scared of every move they make. They don't want to be seen, heard, or known. I had one come up to me the other day. He got threatened 10 times. He's been in here 1 week. His life's already been threatened 10 times. 21 years old. He's in here for murder. Now, you think he could take care of himself?
Scared to death. He don't want to come out of his room. He's trying to get protection already. He doesn't know what to do, so he goes to other inmates. We're not going to protect him. None of us are going to protect him. We're in here protecting ourselves. Each one of us can't turn our back on the next guy. How are we going to protect somebody else? The only way we can help anybody out is keep us from coming in here. Once you're in here, we ain't going to help you no more. There ain't nothing we can do for you. You got to help yourself. And you're going to end up like this guy ended up hanging himself, who I just talked to 3 hours before he did it. He told me he was tired of living in this fucking filth hole. He took care of himself. He got out of it. He got out of it all. That's the easy way out. Some of us can't take that. I got a wife and kids. I can't let them down. I already let them down enough. Now, they're still waiting for me. I don't know why. I don't know what good I am to them. The hell good am I? They're living on an image? They're living on something they knew at one time? I got a 30-foot wall keeping me between my wife and kids. Just think if you had to sit in this place for the next 20 years, you couldn't go out that front door no more. What would it do to you? It would take a hell of a lot of steam out of you, wouldn't it? I know it took a lot out of me. I was a tough guy on the streets, big superfly, got busted, went all over the television stations, organized crime, hookup, everything. I never was involved in none of that bullshit. All I had was a couple friends of mine. We were doing drugs. You ever hear of a bad trip on acid? Well, there ain't no acid trip that can do to you what this will do to you. There ain't none in the world as bad as this.
Because all I wanted was some money to fix my motherfucking habit. So he grabbed the pistol. And why he did that? Because I put his brains against the wall. I didn't give a fuck about him. And he didn't give a fuck about grabbing the pistol, so I didn't give a fuck about killing him. So a month later, after we spent the money, shot up in dope, we were hanging out back on the corners again. I got the bitch tricking again. I'm drinking my wine. And the man rolled out on me. Somebody seen me coming out the store. I get busted. And how a motherfucking dog I was, I told him where she was at. She's sitting right down there in Clinton right now with life in 18 years. And I've been down here since I was 18 years old, and she's been sitting right down there since she was 17. And I'm 31 years old now.
I have received numerous letters from children who have made the visitation, writing to me and advising me that they thought they were pretty cool before they came here, and now they realize they're not so cool.
So y'all keep on doing that dumb, silly bullshit, think you're getting away with it. It ain't slick. Only ones you're hurting is yourself and your parents, the ones that really love you, trying to help you. Because when you come down here, you ain't got nobody. You lose everything.
When the program first started, and we had some older officers here, they weren't in favor of it. They thought it was a sham, another way for the inmates to get over on the administration. But the inmates have proved themselves, and with the younger correctional officers, I believe that the correctional officers feel that it's a good program.
I think that one of the significant aspects of this program is that the idea and the program was generated by the inmates themselves. It was their conception that this was something that would be meaningful and would work.
Morning, Life Group. Speaking. My name is Richard Rowe. I'm serving 30 to life, 5 to 7, 15 to 20. The charges are atrocious assault and battery, kidnapping, and an habitual offender. In terms of crimes, I was convicted of felonies 3 other times other than this time, ranging from when I was 19 years old. The idea started, well, we're in our office, myself and a few other members, lifers. And we seen a college tour come through the prison, right? And at this particular time, my son was getting in trouble, brushes in with the law. So I said to the guys, I said, maybe it's possible we can approach the administration. Maybe we can get like the towns around here to bring juveniles in and let them come on a session and we can rap with them and tell them what it's really all about. Okay, we approached the administration at that particular time, which was over a year ago. And the idea was not feasible to them then. So what it was I think it was sometime in June, my wife seen an article in the papers, right? And it consisted with Judge Nicola and Chief Anthony O'Brien from the Woodbridge Police Department So I asked her, would you do me a favor and call them up and see where they're at, see if they're really sincere about helping kids. So when she talked to them, she called me back and said, yes, they are. So I made contact with them.
I think the significant benefit is the kids. I think there is an ancillary benefit to the prison in the sense that the inmates themselves feel that they're doing something worthwhile, and the prison feels that they're doing something worthwhile. But those things are not nearly as significant as the fact that we might be able to turn 5 or 10 or 20 kids away from a life of crime and have them wind up in the same place.
Definitely it will help the prison administration, right? Then you look at it the other way. It's helping the prisoners in here, letting the people know that they're not animals. This was the purpose of the program, the Lifers Group, to let the people out there aware know if a man makes a mistake, that doesn't mean he's a stone outright animal. I mean, we all got feelings. We're all going back there. Well, I won't say all. So if it helps them, well, like I call it, scratching their back, it's scratching the men in his back. You know, if the administration was to like say, well, we're going to give you $3 a day to do it, then what you're saying is this inmate is working for the cops. And that's just what he'd be doing. And I mean, I wouldn't do it. Me, I ain't too fond of any cops, really, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing double life. A lot of these guys, like Clem, 15 years. You can't be too fond of them. But we'll work with them to help, you know, help these kids.
I just got a letter from a boy who's doing a 2-year sentence in Boys Town. He's a 12-year-old kid. He's in there for playing hooky from school, minor infractions with the law. Now, he was in here on one of the sessions. And when he came in here, he broke down and cried. Now, he told me that his mother works every day and she's not home there to supervise him. And he said he doesn't have anybody he could talk to. Well, he's talking to me.
I would think they're doing a real good job, and they're missionaries in a sense. And I would hope that someday somebody, a paroling authority or somebody, will recognize that.
I think it's a real selfless act on the part of the prisoners, and it's probably something that takes a great deal of humility to bring oneself out to publicly admit wrongdoing, where they say, hey, I was a bad person, and this is what happens. And I'm hoping that maybe by my example, you're not going to have to slip on that same banana peel. I think it should have a very positive effect. It's something different. It's something that we haven't tried before. And I think they should be hailed for the good motives that they have.
Many people claim that the prisoners are doing this just to get a better deal with parole, to get in tight with you. How do you react to that?
You know, some of the prisoners, if you were to look at the long terms that they have to serve, the consecutive life sentences, the ridiculous amounts of time that society sometimes imposes on an individual to guarantee the incapacitation, some of them may not literally be eligible for parole in my tenure as a parole board chairman or in my lifetime.
One fellow just today indicated to me, and he's one of the original founders of the program, that he appeared before the parole authorities and didn't receive favorable action.
There's no such thing as rehabilitation in the state of New Jersey. There's no such thing rehabilitation in no prison. If a man wants to be rehabilitated, it has to come from within. He has to be self-motivated. The Lifers Group has created self-motivation in almost 65 men. A man, when we come up and get up in the morning and we know we have a session with children, we have something to look forward to, because we know at the end of the day, after seeing these kids, it's like giving somebody a gift. And when they break open the package, and the joy that's in their eyes is the feeling we feel inside of us after talking to these kids.
Yeah, I know it stopped me from cutting. I never had no thought of shoplifting, boy, because they're telling us about Clinton. I wouldn't want to go there.
I wrote him. I didn't get a return letter, but I wrote him and told him the progress I made. I just told him I was going to school like I should. I straightened myself out. I want to do better. Make something of my life instead of fooling around.
Would we have turned ourselves around if somebody had talked to us? I'll say 85% of us, yes. The other 15%, you could beat them with a hammer, chain them to the wall. You're not going to change them.
It was a show.
They were threatening you?
Yeah, that's all they was doing there.
If you turn around,
Man, they just seen who had the most break-ins and all that. Hey, I had this many, and that's all they was doing.
Yeah, they was talking like it was a contest.
So, who had the best pistol and whatnot.
So you think that only dumb people get sent to prison?
they're just trying to scare us and whatnot. They just don't want us to come there, like they said, because they don't want to stab nobody no more.
Well,
that's what they was doing. Like it was a game.
I heard some kids on the way back, they say, yeah, well, like, it don't mean nothing to me. But I think that they when they think about it, I think they were kind of scared. They don't want to let down their image of being cool. But I think it had to touch them somehow or another.
I can hear them going around talking about, oh, I'll steal this and steal that. But when they get up there, they're going to wish they never had stole nothing.
Maybe this will help some of the people on the outside realize that we're people too. We're not just animals locked in a cage, living in filth and everything. We got feelings, and we can think for ourselves, and we miss everything we lost. We want it back, eventually,
In November 1977, Richard Rowe was transferred from Rahway to Trenton State Prison to serve up to 1 year for the crime of bribing an officer. The bribe involved $5. Rowe hopes to be returned to Rahway within 3 months. T. Robert Clemens, or Clem, will be paroled from Rahway Prison on February 14th after 15 years in jail. He has several offers to lecture and eventually hopes to counsel juveniles in a proposed institution he is helping to design.